What's going on, guys? We gotta get this a little bit more. Okay. What's up, chosen ones? How we doing? Haha, you can see my shadow. Looks funny. How we doing? It's been a whole afternoon. Ya girl just got back from El Gimnasio. And oh boy, do I feel free, yo. Yeah, I do. But I also feel incredibly annoyed. So I wanted to do a video and share like the high stakes and reality of being in tune enough to expose like darker dynamics of the world and its implications in reality, like getting targeted. There were two particular weird interactions with men that were in all red today. One was just like at the gym and like kind of crowding my space and like kind of like watching me in the mirror. I could see him like in the background. It's like auxiliary, you know, ones. And then like I was like at the mirror like right next to the dumbbells. And he's just kind of like always nearby, like all red. And then another guy, all red, after the subway, like after the gym, but right in front of the subway. I got some groceries, and I was struggling a little bit with them because I had my longboard as well. And so it was like they're like the bags that don't have like the handles. And I just was like, kind of like, I was like managing, but like I could use a little bit of help. And this guy like in front of me, I thought that's what he was staring at me for because I thought he was about to offer to help. And I wish this could have been like caught on camera because it's funny. It's like really funny in hindsight. I was like saying, I was like fumbling with it or whatever, and then I was like had my longboard here, and I was like, I thought he was like. His whole entire like hips were directed right at me. His body was turned towards me. He was staring at me, and we made eye contact for about 10 seconds. And then I was like, I'm gonna break the ice here because I'm struggling. And I was like, I could use your help, but all he did was just like do this. I mean, I need to like try and imitate it. It was so creepy. This like evil, like legitimately like an evil smile from film. Like the evil smile that you would like imagine in a Stephen King novel. Like literally that level of evil. And I was like, good heavens. And I was like triggered? You know, because I was like legitimately struggling and like I was really nervous about a carton of eggs that I didn't want to like accidentally fall out and spill everywhere or like get on the longboard, worst of all. So I was like, I kind of like called after him and I was like, hello, I couldn't help it because it was like he kind of like acted like he was gonna help me, and then we literally made eye contact for at least like 10 seconds or more. And then I was like, oh, he's like looking at me like he's gonna offer to help. That's nice. But then all he did was like this. And then like I can't even like commit to it all the way. It was so evil. It was scary. It was like I don't experience things like that often. So that was once in a blue moon, or a sign that like spiritual warfare is gonna get a lot stronger. Kind of like what I was feeling with that, and then like kind of thinking a little bit more and what I felt led to do a whole video. And then it's also a video on like the reality and implications of the high stakes that you involve yourself with if you are to reflect well enough and or quote unquote outsmart their moves, the enemy's moves, or you can think 3 steps ahead, or they're just kind of like not able to get at you as much. So they'll amp up their tactics. Like today, like coming to I don't know, like, for sure, but, like, I thought it was, like, cool, pretty funky that I get, like, 3 random ass visitors all of a sudden to my door in the middle of a YouTube video, as I'm talking about, like, being targeted and what it's like and stuff like that, and, like, being gang stalked. I was like, that's interesting. It could be, like, something completely not related, but you know when you just, like, get feelings and kind of just, like, know. So I was like, wow, like, this is interesting. And so I was on my way home from the gym, and you know when you come across a YouTube video and you're like, okay, that's meant for me. Like, you see the title, and it didn't just come across your path for no reason. Everything in life, even on the virtual platform, comes across our path for a reason. It's meant to be there. Even, like, the little interactions with the barista, like, everything works in its own kind of, like, wheel, like, on its own, like, it has its own, like, pivot, it has its own focus, it has its own ability to, like, operate on its own, but it's all one big consciousness. So it's all connected, and how we feel about a certain person or where we're coming across a certain thing, like, that's kind of, it's real. It's like what you're thinking and feeling is likely to be what is the case of what you think it is, because you know yourself. So anyway, I came across this title on YouTube, and it said "Don't go back," and it was like, and then I was telling you, I said in the last video, or the second to last video, that I saw other videos like that before I saw the 111 confirmation to stay. When I was thinking about, literally, I was, like, thinking about making plans to go fly back to West Coast and do, like, the last term there. So yeah, like, it's interesting how the timing of those things occur, but I'm glad that I'm just able to catch it and be aware, and I was hoping that I could make videos and do a topic on it like this, so it can help you guys catch those signs too, because they're being sent to you in a way that if you catch it, it'll, like, change your life. So hoping to enlighten, hoping to heal, hoping to clarify. And so yeah, it's kind of a warning on, like, the implications and reality of the high stakes of what it's like if you are going to outsmart the enemy or think 3 steps ahead of them, or just be unbothered or speak out against and expose the tactics and darker dynamics, right? So it sounds insane that there's people that are, like, so-called agents that are, like, paid to stir a ruckus or to keep an eye. Families brought into it at times. A lot of people in the person's life will be entangled and embroiled in the shenanigans, and it's very unfortunate. But if you just realize it's hard to do at first, but take it as, like, an oh, this is, like, encouraging me to be, like, this is encouraging me to, like, just keep getting better, because they're obviously, like, a little bit mad or whatever for some reason, that I'm, like, doing awesome in this area of life, and so they're hating. So just continue to getting better at that one area that you think that, like, they have an issue with, or just keep getting better at all the areas of your life, because if they hate it, then there really is something that awesome about you that they wish they had. Think of it like that. Like, don't think it, like, like, I know it's negative and you can feel it, but try and be like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna keep being, like, more and more awesome, because that's what you're saying, right? Like, try and think of it like that. For a specific example that I've been mulling over in my mind the past couple of days, specifically was in the elevator on my way up. Well, I'll start with this. They say that the targets are targeted at different areas of the entry of, like, the apartment or the house or the residence that they live in, sometimes at work. So there will be the same people with, like, the same roles. Basically, like, entry points, exit points, by the garbage can, sometimes in the bodegas, and just happen to like always be like on my same trail or path. So it's like, interesting, like seeing you at the same time, like I'm always out here, like kind of like that. Like you start to recognize faces, and you're like, oh, like this is like you can't put a finger on it exactly, but you do enough research and you understand that it is an organized, sophisticated, systematic way to harass somebody without legitimate breadcrumbs of evidence, especially through cyber means as well. And so, with that said, I was in the elevator and I was going up to the 3rd floor, as I do, and I think I bringing back laundry? Yeah, I was bringing back my load of laundry, and I was carrying some of it on my longboard, kind of like a smart way to like delegate the weight and stuff, distribute the weight. And I was getting in, and there's a guy with a pizza box, and it said Old Pizza Tarrytown, and 47 was on the 47th Street or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, like a box of pizza, okay, like someone ordered pizza, and then I went, oh no way, like Tarrytown, like I worked at there this summer. Yeah, upstate. I haven't tried their pizza yet in Tarrytown, but it looks good. And then I said something like, I prefer Papa John's. I was like, my preference is Papa John's or something like that. I was just like making small chat in the elevator. And he goes, oh yeah, really? I was like, yeah. And then it occurred to me that if the pizza was, wouldn't I was like, and it just occurred to me in that moment as I was standing next to him that I wasn't smelling any pizza. And then I like shook the box because I just had this feeling that all of this was baloney. It was completely empty. It was light as a feather. And then he immediately like looked horrified on his face, and he was like, there's only 3 slices. And I was like, super legit. So those are the facts of the story. I'm not saying the interpretation of what I think it is that happened, but I mean, where did the pizza go? And if you're really being paid a service and fee and gratuity for your travels, then wouldn't there really be a hot, yummy smelling pizza in the box that you're delivering to the 5th floor? I think he just like got into the elevator, like pushed a button, like he didn't even have a delivery. He was just like given some cash to like freaking carry an empty pizza box and then like try and like. I always get targeted when I like do my laundry too, because I have to take all the laundry, and it's like I've been working on getting it more and more compact because it's up the hill of the laundromat. And I do everything without a car, so like basically, so I don't know, like most people can't think how to live without a car, but I've been doing it for literally since like 2016. Been doing everything without a car, but I've been living in cities the whole time, so they make things pretty easy on the city for transportation like that. Pretty cool stuff. So 13 minutes, cool. Yeah. I don't know. You guys want to like leave a comment and tell me what you think about like if the warfare is getting worse. Like today was what Saturday, right? And I don't know. You think and yeah. You think that like I mean it was fine. It just was like a lot of I'm starting to understand why I see more and more girls like working out in corners with the dumbbells and like in like with a mat and stuff, because men do check women out if you work with the men. They're really like not everyone. Some men are like really respectful and mind their own business, as they should. But I can see now. I'm starting to like. I always wondered why I kept seeing girls like tucked away in the corner by the locker room, and I was like, Oh, people like their privacy because some people are weird and like watch other, like men and women. It doesn't necessarily have to be men. Like watch each other work out, and some people just like their privacy. And like, I understand now too. Like I feel like I have a little bit of a hard time. Like, this guy like kept like walking back into like my like eyesight, like when I was on the rowing machine, and then he like did this with like his hand, like hoopla, like, or not hoopla, but like when you're like swish, like playing basketball and stuff, and he was like doing that, and then like walked in front of me, and then like was like didn't even seem like he was really working out. That's the thing that I don't get about like what these people are doing when they're at the gym if they have all this time to stare at other people. Like it's interesting to me. Like, I think people are really bored with their lives. Because I never get to the gym and think about who can I sit and stare at here. So I'm like trying to empathize with these people. They must really be bored with their lives. And I have like a little bit of a theory that I think that like the harder I work on the rowing machine, the more the traffic around me buzzes. And like I was gonna do a theory on this sometime where I like somehow measure the foot traffic around me when I do a workout, because it seems like the moment right as I'm able to focus again, like somebody like tries to come in and like takes my focus, and it's like even if somebody's like coming in and just trying to figure out which machine to use in front of me, even that is like a little distracting to me. But when I have guys like trying to meet my eye contact, and then doing like little like hand motions, like whoosh, hand, like right in my line of sight, but like working on a machine over here, but then like walking over here and like doing like this, like it's so creepy. It's like I just don't understand like why people have to like, I don't know, kind of like have zero tact. Like if you're interested in somebody and you're curious about them, like I understand, but it's staring too long, and when you're distracting me from my workout is what I start to resent you for. But if you're just noticing me and like acknowledging me and but noticing a little bit, like that's okay. But like it's to the point when you're like making like motions and like getting in my line of sight. Like sometimes I just close my eyes because I'm like, oh, like people are so annoying. And I think I'm just gonna start going and trying to row earlier in the morning, because it is harder to focus when everyone's walking around you. Like I don't really enjoy where that rowing machine is placed, but I think that maybe I'll try out like a different location of Planet sometime soon. But yeah, I felt like I noticed like a lot of irritation, because it does seem like there's a little bit of a spike in like the spiritual warfare. Like it seems a little tense more than usual, and that makes sense because everything's a little hectic. So take that story about the pizza at the elevator as you will. Like what's going on there, I don't know. Those are the facts that I'll allow you to interpret, and like you can comment and tell me what you think. But like that's what I'm saying is like there's actual consequences to exposing like darker dynamics and sharing it on a platform and stuff, like, or being chosen is a target in and of itself. So sometimes I kind of wonder like what is it about me that they like want to study or something. But I try and also just take that concern to God as well, and wanted to pass that along as well, that whatever it is on your heart, you can come and talk to Him about it. And it's a concern until you talk to him, and then it turns into a prayer, and then you feel more peace. You know, it's a beautiful cycle to walk with God and have the Holy Spirit in your heart, and have that love that's bountiful within your spirit, and it's just something I really recommend. And also that YouTube video that I was watching about, that was the title said "Don't Go Back," that I felt called to on the way home from the gym tonight. It said it said some key note that was like crystal clear to me. But it was like warning of like more spiritual warfare, new territory, something about moving into new territory. Oh yes, in reading the books, the Bibles, a couple of books like Joseph, Job, Abraham, it was like Abe and then Abraham. Like, and she was saying that all these chosen leaders, she was like, I actually don't know her channel, but she was really good. You know how it just like pops up on your channel and you're like, cool, I'll watch this. And I was like, yeah, all these different books of the Bible that she was saying, all these chosen leaders, before that they accepted their path, they lost everything, but then their blessings were doubled after God allowed them to be tested as such. So I was like, oh, that's so interesting. So I was telling you guys too that I've been wanting to read the Bible more, and then she said that in the YouTube videos today that I watched after that video, and I was like, okay, it's confirmation. So I'm going to be doing some more reading in those books of the Bible, and I'm excited. That's basically it for now. Just want to do like a warning, and like, I think that spiritual warfare is going to get a lot worse. So stay prayed up and stay Bibled up. Read that Bible. And just kind of holding the Bible too has a lot of power. Like, makes you feel really good. Just as a start for people that are thinking about reading it more. It's such a powerful book, and it has like all the truth. So sometimes sleeping with my Bible too is a nice feeling. So yeah, you guys, love you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow will be more, I think, of seriously story time. I have a couple of ideas in mind for episode 6. I think it's gonna be awesome. So stay tuned for more content. You know what comes next. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay lit. Stay chosen. Peace.